Chiefs Kingdom, buckle up, because Patrick Mahomes just sent a message loud enough to echo all the way down I-70. The headline today: Patrick Mahomes sends strong message ahead of Week 7 matchup versus Raiders. You can feel it in the building. This isn't just another game, it's a statement week, it's a rivalry week, and it's a chance to put the AFC West right back under KC's thumb. Mahomes has been measured at the mic this season, but the tone this week is clear: urgency, edge, and expectation. When the Raiders roll into Arrowhead, he's not talking about style points. He's talking about execution, precision, and finishing drives. This is the kind of energy that sets the tempo for everyone in the locker room, from the huddle to special teams to the last man on the depth chart. Every time Chiefs Raiders hits the calendar, it's personal. It's helmets popping, it's history, it's the kind of divisional pressure cooker that makes October feel like January. And this chapter arrives with layers. Kansas City trying to seize momentum, Las Vegas trying to swing the season with an upset, and Mahomes, Max Crosby renewing one of the NFL's fiercest duels. Both guys respect each other, publicly and genuinely, but on Sunday they go to war again, and both know it might tilt the whole day. Arrowhead is the stage, and there's something about this building that amplifies weeks like this. The air gets colder, the sound gets meaner, and the stakes feel bigger. You've got Crosby lining up wide, hunting angles. You've got Mahomes at the line, setting protections, testing tells, and daring man coverage to hold for more than 3 seconds. The subtext is simple: this rivalry runs on pressure. Who creates it, who escapes it, and who flips it into points. And don't overlook the timing. Week 7 is where pretenders fade and contenders consolidate. The margin for error tightens now. Divisional games hit different because they're 2-for-1 swings. You rise while your rival sinks. That's the pulse behind Mahomes' message this week. Cut the noise, handle business, and let the West remember who's driving. Let's talk personnel, because the chessboard this week looks better for Kansas City than it has all season. Rashee Rice's return is a storyline you can't exaggerate. His yards after catch profile is exactly what turbocharges Andy Reid's middle-of-the-field concepts. It's not just the receptions, it's the stress he puts on safeties, and the way he punishes off leverage on slants and shallow crossers. With Rice back, those glance and choice routes turn 5-yard tosses into 20-yard problems. Now layer in Xavier Worthy's vertical gravity and Marquise Hollywood Brown's timing on deep outs and comeback windows. The spacing cleans up. The shot plays become honest again because DCs can't squat under inbreakers without paying on the perimeter. The net effect for Mahomes is simple: cleaner pictures pre-snap, more honest coverage post-snap, and the freedom to play point guard with tempo rather than superhero on every snap. Defensively, the Raiders arrive with urgency. Call it a must-prove week, and that means you'll get looks designed to muddy first reads and bait late throws. But when Mahomes is in rhythm, those bait calls turn into gifts: free yards to backs on outlets, second reaction seams to Kelsey, and scramble drill daggers. When he's operating with that "we're done messing around" vibe, the offense feels inevitable. And the data this month backs the eye test. He's climbed back to elite in just about every fantasy and efficiency lens that matters. The Crosby factor? It's real, every snap. He'll line up left, right, wide 9, sometimes even mug inside to force the protection call and then loop out. He's long, he converts speed to power, and he refuses to quit the rush. The counter is layered: quick game to his side, hard counts to steal his juice, and that devastating Mahomes slide step that turns a would-be sack into a 22-yard crosser. It won't be pretty every play, but the Chiefs don't need pretty, they need timely. Here's how Kansas City can script this game to its terms. Early downs: tilt the field horizontally. Jet motion from Worthy, orbit motion to force the Raiders to declare man or zone, and fast screens to Rice to set a physical tone. If Vegas responds by flowing fast, tag RPO slants behind that flow and hit them where they just vacated. If they sit and play patient, stack flood concepts and force their corners to tackle in space. On third down, expect Reid to dial beaters for Crosby's rush lane. That means chipping with a tight end or back, then releasing late into green grass. Watch for Kelsey to start shallow, drag, stick, pivot, only to set up a deep cross later when the safety jumps the shallow window. And if they bring pressure from depth, Mahomes' best answer is tempo. Quick huddle, sprint to the line, hard count, and snap the ball with the blitz still getting aligned. That's free yardage and hidden explosives. Red zone is the swing state. Kansas City's best red zone version leans on misdirection, shovel variants, motioning into stacks, and rubs that force quick decisions. If Rice gets early confidence, the Chiefs can throw glance or skinny post-off play action, letting Mahomes hit the second window before the hook defender can recover. If the Raiders overplay interior lanes, dial up sprint outs with a 3-level concept to give Mahomes a run-pass stress on the edge. And don't forget the ground game as a control lever. The Raiders want long fields and few possessions. KC should steal possessions with pace in the second quarter, then land body blows with inside zone and duo to wear down the front. If you get Crosby thinking about edge setting instead of pinning his ears, you've already won half the snap. All week, the conversation hasn't just been, can Mahomes cook? It's been, what does his tone tell us? It tells us he knows the assignment. The standard in Kansas City is rings, and the path to February runs right through October composure. When your QB projects that urgency, it trickles down. Receivers chase extra reps after practice. Linemen lock into the silent count. Backs rehearse blitz pickups like they're competing for a belt. That's leadership you can't fake. Raiders' voices are bringing their own energy. Confidence in a defense that's been stingier than people think and plenty of bravado about taking on Kelsey and Mahomes. That back and forth is oxygen for this rivalry. It sharpens the weak. You hear it in national segments, you see it in every presser. Respect on the mic, heat on the field. And you know Crosby's going to bring 65 minutes of effort even if it goes to the last snap. KC Media, meanwhile, has zeroed in on the offense's turbo potential with Rice back, Worthy healthy, and Brown clicking. The phrase of the week is simple: spacing and speed. When this group is right, you don't stop it, you survive it and hope for field goals instead of touchdowns. That's the ceiling that had people buzzing, one switch flip away from the version of Kansas City nobody wants in a track meet. October wins don't clinch playoff spots, but they set seed lines. Division games are the golden tickets because they stack tiebreakers. Beating the Raiders here means more than a number in the left column. It means leverage in December when everyone's counting head-to-head and division record like gold bars. The simple math says handle your neighborhood, and the rest of the conference gets a lot less scary. And specifically with Las Vegas, the momentum swing is outsized. They framed this as a must-win stretch to keep pace. If Kansas City slams the door at Arrowhead, the psychological edge flips the lights off on their division chase for a while. That's why Mahomes' message matters this week. It sets the emotional cadence for a game that can punch a rival and polish your own road map at the same time. So what happens if Kansas City plays to its identity? You get Mahomes in point guard mode, distributing early, slicing late. You get Kelsey stealing first downs like a thief in the night. You get Rice taking 5 yards and turning it into 15, Worthy opening the top of the defense, and Brown punishing soft corners who stop their feet. You get a defense that benefits from the scoreboard, pinning ears back, forcing low-percentage throws, and letting Arrowhead become the 12th and 13th men. But it starts with one thing we've heard from number 15 all week: finish. Finish drives in the red zone. Finish protections with violent hands. Finish tackles in the flats. Finish the half with points and the game with composure. The Raiders will swing, Crosby will win snaps, and there will be moments you shake your head. That's okay. Championship teams eat those moments and answer with 6 the next series. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, your turn. Mahomes has drawn the line in the sand. Now it's about execution, discipline, and that Arrowhead electricity that changes games. If you felt that message this week, if you're ready to see the offense click with Rice back and the rivalry tilt red, then lock in. Drop your takes in the comments and join the road to 5,000 subs here on Kansas City Chiefs Today.